This was 100% preventable. We call things accidents. There is no accident. Every single event that we investigate is preventable.
That's right, you heard it, completely preventable. That was the National Transportation Safety Board Chairwoman, Jennifer Homendy. And just as the Transportation Secretary, Pete Buttigieg, is finally on the ground, we're getting the Transportation Safety Board's initial findings in that report from the derailment. Yeah, we know that. We can put up the graphic there. And we know that this official report has come out, even though and according to it, the crew operating the freight train that derailed on February 3rd in East Palestine, Ohio, did not receive a critical warning about the heat levels of the wheels on the cars. Now this per the AP. An engineer slowed and stopped the train after getting a critical audible alarm message, according to a preliminary report by the National Transportation Safety Board. The crew then saw fire and smoke and alerted dispatch of a possible derailment, the report said. The axle investigators are focused on had been heating up as the train went down the tracks, but did not reach the threshold for stopping the train and inspecting it until just before the derailment, the report said. The train was going about 47 miles per hour at the time, just under the speed limit of 50 miles per hour, according to safety investigators. Now, as much as it seems that it was going under the miles per hour, still, we gotta remember that 38 cars derailed and they contained hazardous materials there, including a highly volatile, colorless gas that has the community of East Palestine terrified. Now, the report's conclusions, they're damning in the Trump administration rolling back transit safety regulations. And that's a fact that Fox News finally agreed to cop to.
Apparently, regulations regarding train safety were changed during the Trump administration. This particular railroad and others lobbied President Trump to dismantle an Obama-era rule that would have required railroads to update their braking systems. And apparently the Obama administration had pushed for it to govern transportation of hazardous materials after about 500,000 barrels of crude were dumped. But ultimately, the Trump administration undid that and said the costs exceeded the benefits.
Yeah, indeed. Even Fox News and right-wing outlets are getting right and admitting that this is a product of the Trump administration rolling back the Obama-era rules that would have helped maintain the safety for these trains. This is absolutely wild out here, Malaika, is the fact that this did not have to happen. We heard it from the woman herself saying this was entirely preventable. How does this sit with you?
I think it just really speaks to, I think, the sort of schizophrenia that Republicans are going to have to endure, because there have been public outcries against the CEO of Norfolk Southern. But at the same time, Donald Trump has had to pretend that he's a populist candidate. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to explain this away in terms of rolling back these deregulations, but at the same time saying that he's for the people of Ohio. If you remember, Ohio went for Obama twice and then flipped over to Trump, and it continues to look like it's going to be a Republican stronghold. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to play out. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of culture war spin on it in order to get out of his accountability for this.
Yes, and also the National Transportation Safety Board Chairwoman, Jennifer Homendy, what she said during a press conference as well today is that this is not about politics. This isn't a partisan issue. This is a matter of the people there and safety standards that need to be in place. And that's something that needs to continue to be pushed forward here, because it seems like there's a lot of partisan effort, particularly being used on the ground. We see JD Vance there trying to flout the GOP angle. We see other leaders not willing to return Biden's calls. The fact is, those people need help, they need aid, and this was entirely preventable. Again, did not have to happen if the right safety regulations were in place. But of course, with the Trump era, no, it's okay. Let's make sure that these train liners can line their pockets with cash.